Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Brett McCollum, and I am here today with Clarissa Moody. Today, we're going to be talking about first-time homebuyers. Before we do, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and live the lives they've always dreamed of. Without further ado, Clarissa, how are you?
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here with you. I was really fun catching up with you, getting to know you before the show. I'm excited to kind of talk about what we're going to get into today. But before we do that, let's do me a favor. Can you back up, rewind, tell us a little bit about who Clarissa is and catch us up to speed?
Sure. My name is Clarisa Moody. I was born in the mountains of Peru a little over 40 years ago now. And my journey started in real estate. My mom was a real estate agent in Peru. So I have a 30-year background. I was always answering the phone at 10 years old and giving people, information about properties that my mom had for sale. And I studied international business in Peru because I was passionate about languages as well. I speak English, Spanish, and French. After I started my career, I went into the banking industry. I worked for a couple years, and then I decided to pursue my master in France, where I spent 2 years. My master was completed in management and with a focus on marketing. Then I came back to Peru. I worked for a little bit longer in the banking industry, and then I jumped into the export industry. I supported ADEX. It's the Association of Exporters in Peru. We did a huge event called Expo Alimentaria, which was one of the most important trade shows in Latin America. And I started to work for a remote company, Euromonitor International from the US. And I decided to invest in real estate here in the US while I was in Peru. I bought my first foreclosure in 2014. I sold it a couple years after. I bought my second foreclosure in Orlando, Florida, where I met my husband. And we got married the next year. And after a few more months, we decided to buy our home. And that's
Wow.
how I got involved into real estate in Florida, in the United States.
Yeah.
We bought our home. The experience was not the best. We definitely were not prepared for the plunge. And we had a couple hiccups in the process. Our loan was denied 3 weeks before closing. We had problems with the appraisal. So it was a roller coaster of emotions, like I tell my husband. So after that, thank God we accomplished to buy our home in March 2018 in beautiful Plant City, Florida. And right after that, I decided to make my goal to help first-time home buyers. So their process to accomplish their dream of home ownership can be a smooth process and not like ours.
Wow. We got a lot to unpack. All right, let me back up a little bit. So you're in Peru. You decide, and when did you become bilingual? Like, when did you learn English? Was it while you were still like in school? Like, what was that like?
At school, my parents always prioritize education, so we studied in a bilingual school in Peru with my
Oh,
little
nice.
brother.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I decided to pursue French when I was at a university without even knowing that at some point I will, make the jump and cross the ocean and go to Europe to study. And that's something I did with my little brother as well.
Okay.
And that opened up a huge amount of opportunities for us.
Sure.
Definitely.
All right, question for you. This is not at all related. I'm just for a curious question. How old were you? Roughly about 18, 20 when you went to France? How old were you?
I was 24.
24. Okay, so
Yes. For Latin families, it's a little hard to get out of the house before you get married. So I was kind of like a pioneer of my times just for leaving
okay.
home at 24 and just going to another country and study.
Yeah, I bet. My question was like, because at a younger age, learning a new language is sometimes easier, right? But now that you're an adult, you're a grown, what was that like learning another like new language as an adult?
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Our type of course that we took, it was in the 4 hours per day. So it's kind of
Oh
like
wow.
total immersion. The first week you have a horrible headache because the teacher only speaks in French and you have to catch what you can while you're guided by the book as well. But definitely I think in my view is the best way to learn
Okay.
when you
How
have
long did
total
it take you to
immersion.
really start picking up on it?
Takes you probably a month.
Okay.
Yes. The
That quick,
whole
huh?
the whole course was 9 months, and we were ready to take the international test and everything.
Wow, that's faster than I would have thought. Um,
Everything is
man,
about commitment. If you commit to do the 4 hours per day and practice after hours and do your homework, you're gonna do it.
and you still are you able to still speak French today?
I do. I don't
Yeah.
have the chance to practice it so
Sure.
often,
Yeah.
but from time to time I have, a couple of friends who speak it, so we just chit chat for a little bit.
I love that. That's so cool. I'm nerding out a little bit over here because like it's something that our family will love to travel and see the world and be a part of like and really the way I would prefer to travel. It's a little bit harder, with young children, but is to be in a place for not just a couple of days, but like spend a month somewhere or spend, you know what I mean, like and immerse more into culture. But that's really cool that you got to do that. Were you in Paris? Where did you go? In France? Where were
I
you at?
was in the south of France. I'm not a big fan of cold weather. So I remained in the south. I studied at Aix-en-Provence and then I moved to Nice to do an internship for a year. So I
Yeah,
was always in the south, kind of warm and close to the beach.
very cool. Yeah, we went to where's the film festival at Cannes? We
Can,
went,
yeah,
yeah, or Cannes. Sorry, I was like, I don't know which way to say it, but yeah, that we went there not long ago. That was really cool seeing that.
it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, all right. So when did you get the job that it was that remote job in the U.S.? When was that?
That remote job, I got it when I was in Peru. I was
Okay.
reporting on market research for the Peruvian market in different industries. And I worked with them for a little over 10 years. It was an
Okay.
amazing experience.
Yeah, and then you were what brought you like yeah, what brought you to the United States?
Real estate investment, definitely.
Okay.
I saved some money. I was still living with my parents while I was working for Euromonitor. So what do I do with my savings? I
Right.
decided to check foreclosures in the US. I like Florida. I always had a feeling for it. My parents, as a 15-year-old present, gave gave us the trip to Disney. So for me, it was Florida. It was amazing. So and investing in here in one of the best places of the U.S.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I decided to take my savings and take the plunge, and I bought my first foreclosure in Lake Worth, Florida.
Lake Worth, okay. And then did you move here to do that, or when did you actually come
I
here?
had a roommate at a time that stayed in the property the whole time, and I came for 2, 3 months and then came back. My work allowed me to work from anywhere, so it's so much better to work, in Florida next to the pool than in Lima when it's coldy there.
Sure. What year did you move to the United States?
I didn't move completely till I get married with my husband in 2017.
Oh, wow. Very good. Okay. Incredible. And now you guys are there in Plant City, which, if our listening audience may not be familiar, I'm from Florida too. You and I are probably only an hour and 15 hour, 20 minutes apart, give or take. There's a really wonderful festival, the Strawberry Festival, that's Plant City is really well known for. Very cool. Okay, so you move here. Let's talk about some of the first time home buyer things that we were talking about a minute ago. Okay, you go through this process when you and your husband are buying your first home together, and it didn't go exactly as quote unquote planned, right? Like it was a process, right? Like you said, a roller coaster of emotions.
Stressful.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Go back to that time when you were buying that house and walk me through kind of a little bit what that experience was like.
Well, we were naive. I was not completely aware of all the process that is involved in the home buying process. I knew how to buy a property in Peru, 20% down, and you just, present the documents and you're good to go. But I didn't know all the nuances of the first time home buying process and programs over here in the US. So once we woke up, my husband checked the mail and he received a letter from an online mortgage company saying, "Hey, Chris, you have been pre approved for $250,000 for your first home." So we just started to jump and say, "Wow, yeah, let's do it." So I decided to sell the apartment in Orlando that I bought, my second foreclosure, and we're gonna, buy our first home. We were not prepared and we were not guided enough to know all the little details about the home buying process, about all the documents that you need, about the main requirements of the FHA loan, how picky they can be with your late payments and the credit score. And even you don't need a lot of money to put as a down payment. There are little boxes that you need to tick in order to make it happen.
Right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was I know when my wife and I bought our first home, that was before I was really into the real estate space yet. I didn't know. I was naive too. Same story, right? And the lender's side of it was the issue where like the day before closing, you got to come up with these 25 pages of, and then you have to come up with this, and you don't know what those are, and then so you're scrambling. I remember feeling like the scrambling around and running in circles, right? Of like, what do we do? And then the stress of like, are we actually going to be able to buy this house?
Yeah.
And then the lender, when you call them, they're all super chill and calm. Clarissa, it's okay. It's fine. It's going to be okay. Like, we got this. I'm like, you say we got this, but you just told me I have a deadline of 6 hours to get this to you, and I don't even know what it is. That was our experience.
It was hard. I remember I lived for 2 weeks, 2 straight weeks with my scanner next to me and my computer
Oh,
because they decided to ask for the last minute documents and I needed to sign the paperwork, let my husband know that he needed to sign paperwork, come back with it was stressful. So I tried my best to make the first time home buyer experience as smoother as I can. I'm always on top of the process. I love to give updates to my clients so they can know exactly where in the process we are. But most importantly, I like to guide them through education.
yeah.
My motto is if you are educated enough, you will feel empowered to make a good decision.
Yeah.
So they feel empowered with the purchase of their house, and they are not just taken away by all the feelings and emotions of the process.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Yeah. So the first time home buyer space, I know when we were talking before the show, is kind of your passion, like of what you do in real estate. Obviously going through that, when you went through that, it probably created that spot for you in here of in your gut, in your heart to say like, I need to serve this community better. I'm going to ask you a tough question if that's okay.
Sure.
How do you stand out amongst the other realtors in the space to say why, not that you're not great, but how do you go, this is why I feel like I do it better for the first time home buyer? What is it that you do for that?
I love to guide them through education. I'm always there to answer any questions they might have. I love to recommend mortgage loan officers that I know their focus is going to be also education and take care of the clients.
Mm-hmm.
For me and my partners in the home buying process, our goal is to make the buyer successful through the closing. Get him there with the best chances on his favor and make it happen with less stress for them.
Okay. In education, do you think my opinion on education is it's, especially in the real estate space, there's just let me rephrase this, in traditional real estate, there's just a strong lack of education. Why do you think that might be overall?
I think people they don't get that education. There's a big gap between what people learn in high school and real life. But also, I think people do not do it proactively. They
Mm.
don't start with, okay, I'm 18 years old. I'm going to take care of my credit score. I'm going to put a savings account for eventually a big purchase that I need to do. If my car is a priority in the next 2 years, I'm going to work hard for that. If buying a house is a priority for me, I'm going to make sure my taxes are right. I'm going to make sure I am touching base with an accountant in a regular basis, checking my credit score, working for the goal. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, I say my clients often, buying a house is not hard, but it's not super easy either. It's like running a marathon. You need
Right.
to prepare for the 5K. If you've never run in your life, I guarantee you might not make it to the end goal.
Yeah.
But if you have a coach that is going to guide you in the process and you're going to work in little milestones in the process to make your big goal possible, you can achieve it. I have helped first time home buyers, literally 21 and 23-year-old young couple getting their first time home.
Mm-hmm.
So it is possible.
I love that. And I love the fact that you're able to serve both the English and Spanish speaking community, right?
Yeah, I love
Um,
the fact that I can help and give back to my community like that. I have a YouTube channel exclusively in Spanish, so
okay.
everybody can touch base with me. And if they have any questions, I pride myself for picking up the phone. If I don't pick up the phone, I bet I will just call you back. But service is my priority.
Sorry. And that, I think that's what, yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think in general, and be it real estate or be it any other industry, service is a lacking quality, right? That we don't seem to carry as much anymore in society. It's so bad that like when you see good service, it's like, what is this thing, right? You're like, what is happening? Like that's what good service looks like, guy. It's like, and it's sad that it's like so rare that you get so excited to see it. That's kind of sad if you think about it. It's like, man, this
Yeah,
should be the
definitely.
normal that we serve each other. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why
Um,
we're on Earth to serve each other.
yeah, I had this epiphany while we were talking, And I'm wondering, so as you know, this is a real, like this show's largely for the real estate investor audience, right?
Mhm.
Um, let's speak to the Plant City market area to where you're at, okay?
Mhm.
Then these dollars in the market dollars will change depending on where you guys are all listening from, okay? But specifically locally to you,
Mhm.
um, and I'm going somewhere with this, and I think you probably already know where I'm going, Clarissa. What is the median home sales price, give or take, around the Plant City market right now?
Right now is around the $350,000 mark. So there's a big opportunities for flippers to make money in the industry as well here in the area. I serve the Hillsborough and the Polk County area, so those are definitely areas that are growing.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. The Hillsborough, I mean Polk too, but Hillsborough is the, if you guys don't know where that's the Tampa and its greater Tampa reach is Hillsborough County. And it's massively growing. There's a lot of infrastructure happening, and I mean new highways being built, like brand new highways, right? Being built.
Yeah,
Like it's insane the amount of
the growth.
infrastructure being built to support all the growth that's there. Clarissa, let me ask you this one. So, and you may or may not know this one because we didn't talk about this pre-show at all. Um, Days on market, that's been a big issue for us as investors right now. You buy a house, you fix it up, you flip it, and then you list it with Clarissa. And not saying it happens to you, but just for me, you list it with your realtor, and the house will sit for, in Florida anyway, where I'm at, they're sitting for very
50,
long,
60
long
days.
periods of time right now.
Yeah.
What are you guys seeing right now on that?
We are in the mark of the 50 to 60 days. And what I tell my sellers, investors is price your property right. The first 2 weeks, 4 weeks of your listing need to make a difference. You need
Yeah.
to be impactful. And price, unfortunately, right now, it's a very big thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's been some of the issue we've seen is like almost like you price it right, or at least you think you price it right, and it's still
Mhm.
not right. And we're just trying, it's the guessing of where the market's going and where it's at now kind of thing. Um, are you seeing any difference at all from days on market with those homes that maybe are below the median home sales pricing?
Definitely. The what I target is blue collar families that are looking to get into their first time home,
Right.
and it's very price sensitive. Buyers are out there, but they're not ready to make an offer until they can see a good opportunity.
Yeah.
And for sellers, we're not in the 2021 market where properties just flew out of the shelves,
Yeah.
basically with no marketing effort. Be realistic with your expectations. Don't have 2021 expectations. This is a market where buyers have a lot more leverage, especially if they have a solid pre-approval. And don't be afraid, sellers, to include concessions and pay your buyer's agent because most first time home buyers, they don't have enough funds to pay their agent. So if you offer
Right.
compensation to a buyer's agent, that's going to definitely push your property into a better niche or better opportunities to be sold.
I like that a lot. Yeah. And I guess the kind of the lens I'm thinking from is for guys and gals, if you're listening and you are flipping houses or, whatever your exit strategy is right now, while especially in markets like Florida and these areas where days on market are growing, there's some places in the country, people I talk to, by the way, Clarissa, that they're not experiencing what we are here, right? It's just where we are, though. Days on market are it's growing in some places. The market's softening a lot in some other areas. Um, but if you're flipping a house, you've heard it said, you said it when we were talking, you make money when you buy, not when you
Mhm.
sell. If you guys are targeting the first time, think about and that's why I wanted Clarissa to speak on the first time home buyer so much, is because that is probably the target avatar to the flips that you guys are doing, right? Um, Let me ask you this one, Clarissa.
Mhm.
What about this? For your first time home buyer that you see that you're working with every day,
Mhm.
let's say I flip this house and it's a beautiful property. Is that more attractive in that price point than maybe a house that's maybe it's a little bit bigger, um, but like compare and contrast for me, like what's more attractive to the first time home buyer? Is it the nice feature? What is it that you see?
Right now, what it's more important for them is safety. what I'm talking about safety is having a roof that has been replaced recently or has plenty of lifespan. Because insurance companies, you know that we
Yeah.
have had this problem with them where a 15-year-old shingle roof that
They will deny it.
still
Yep.
has warranty, probably they want you to replace it. So make sure you have those big items taken care of. May have a house with a 4-point inspection that it's clean. You have plenty of life for your roof. Your plumbing is right. Your electricity is up to code. Buyers, once they buy the house, they have limited funds to, put back to the property.
Right.
So they are really careful about making a good investment in the long term.
So safety, that's huge. So you think that's the I think price, obviously, can I afford it, right?
Of course.
But I think that's the glaring obvious one. But then number two is, you think, is safety, right? Is
Yes.
making sure the roof, the HVAC, the plumbing, and electrical are in good operational or higher quality standards. Is that right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Because that's interesting. I was just curious. Is it more like, is it like I'm wondering.
Mhm.
From a buyer, from a first-time home buyer, and you see them every day more than I do they want a product that looks like the brand new stuff that they're seeing?
They do. They do want a product that it looks nice, that the kitchen is catalog ready. They want good bathrooms and big bedrooms and closets, obviously within their budget, which is important. That's why I have also sold a lot of manufactured homes. I don't know in Gainesville
Yeah,
how is the
yeah,
market
for
for
sure.
them, but I
Yeah,
think in my area, in the Central Florida area, manufactured homes are a big thing, and they are
huge.
great starter homes for first-time home buyers. They
Love
can
that.
be financed as well through an FHA loan. So the minimum they need is 3.5%.
I love that. Yeah, here too, same thing. You get a little. It's even better if you get a little bit of land that goes with it, right? Like that's,
For
yeah.
sure. In
I
Plant
think
City, my last properties that I have sold with manufactured homes are 1 acre, 1 acre and a half.
perfect.
It's
Yeah,
perfect. Yes, that's my kind of buyer. They love to, have the liberty of having their own land, have animals, chickens, goats, cows, whatever
yeah.
they please, without an HOA.
I love that. Yeah, that's huge, especially here for sure. I agree with you a billion percent on that one. Um, wonder, I was thinking too, like, but for the person maybe that first time home buyer, do you think they'd be willing to sacrifice a little bit maybe on some square footage to get some of the extra features? So they get an updated kitchen and bathroom and stuff like that. Is that something you've seen?
Yes, definitely. It depends on the type of buyer, but families mostly they try to accommodate everybody. They need a little yard space that is maybe a little bigger than the regular person, because they want the kids in the property. But also they don't care so much about the square footage, but as long as they have everything they want. And I
Right.
always tell my clients, make sure you have to list your needs and your wants. Your needs are important to fulfill. Your wants are something that if we come around, with one of those features, it's going to be good to have, but it's not necessarily what you need right now.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, that's why I was asking is for our flipping community of people flipping out, like buyers, right? You have to, when you're buying a property to flip, you have to think about the end in mind. What's the exit strategy and who's that person that's buying it? So it's probably the first time home buyer. Um, they have two options the way I see it. The first time home buyer, they can get a little more property. That means square footage, but they're probably going to sacrifice a little bit on the updates on the inside, right?
Yes, definitely.
Or they can get a little bit less on the square footage and get more updates on the inside. So I was for our flippers is like, guys, if you're listening to this, is I think it's a good perspective to say, like, when you're targeting these properties, like, think about that first time home buyer and that's why I was asking you all these questions, Clarissa, is getting
But
that
that's a
perspective.
good thing about manufactured homes, and that's why I love them so much. You
Yeah.
can get a 4 bedroom, three
Yes,
bathroom
ma'am.
manufactured home that it's in good condition, on over an acre for less than $300,000.
Agreed. And
So
two,
it's a good house. You don't have to compromise if you don't have those prejudgments about manufactured homes.
yeah, and you shouldn't, especially now with safety standards the way they are. Like, there's so many things that in the last 10 years, that they've requirements. So we've flipped a number of, manufactured homes as well. They have the hurricane tie down straps. They have there's a lot of safety, extra features and quality that's built. I mean, you've seen, and we had how many hurricanes hit us last year in Florida? 4, I think.
Yeah.
Those manufactured homes held up just
I live
like,
in a manufactured home. My house has been here since 2002. We're super happy in a little less than an acre and living life, just
that's
we
what
don't
I'm
have to
saying.
worry about our
There,
payments
the
or
safety's
anything.
not the issue. And
Yeah.
my gosh, you've seen them now. Like they're beautiful on the inside.
Yes.
Like I agree. We are speaking the same on that one, Clarissa. Yeah, I was just trying to get some perspective though on both sides of that. And I think it's a really wise thing for our audience of, flippers and whatnot to listen to, hear what the needs and wants and desires for their target. Ideally in this market with home sitting, the target flip is going to land in the below median home sales price. So who's
Yes,
the buyer? Like I said, it's the first time home buyer. What are they seeing? What are you doing? What are you like? You're the person that's on the front lines right now while us flippers are sitting there trying to guess, and figure out what people want, and you being on the front lines of this is really, really good for us to hear your experience. So I'm glad you did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Another little tip for your investors, it's besides the manufactured home, if you as an investor are looking to get a little bit more money for your properties, try seller financing. I have a ton of clients looking for that type of deals
Mm,
because sometimes they do not have the credit or they do not have the ability to provide tax returns, so they need those kind of other options. And
yeah,
in the meantime, the seller or the investor can do a good return on their investment on the long
sure.
term.
Really. Yeah, I think that's very wise. Yeah. Well, Clarissa, if people want to reach out to you and connect with you in some way, what's the best way for that to happen?
I'm always available on my phone. It's 813-446-2003. As I said, I'm bilingual, so I can help you in your English, Spanish, or even French uh, questions. And I'm always on Facebook and Instagram. You can look for me at Clarissa Moody Realtor. And I'm also on YouTube as well, Clarissa Moody Realtor.
I love that. And we're going to make sure we put that in the show notes, for everybody to connect to. So, but man, Clarissa, this has been great. Thanks so much for hanging out and spending time with us
Thank you,
and
Greg.
giving all your insight. And I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful Easter.
Thank you so much. Well, guys, thanks to you as well for listening and hanging out with us. And we will see each of you guys on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.